Okay, people, so thanks to Lionsgate, I was able to go see Borderlands. Right, the latest video game adaptation to the big screen. Right, this was directed by Eli Roth, who co-wrote the film with Joe Crombie. It was produced by Eric Krieg, Ari Arad, and Avi Arad. It's executive produced by Cate Blanchett, Lucy Kittada, Tim Miller, Randy Pitchard, Louise Rosner, Ethan Smith, Christopher Woodrow, Emmy Yu, and Stross Zelenik, with studio production from Aaron Edmonds. So the music was handled by Steve Jablonski. Roger Stoufers was on cinematography. Julian Clark and Evan Henk edit the piece, with Victoria Thomas on the casting. Andrew Menzies is production design. Art direction, we've got Zoltan Sardi, Carl Probert, Christoph Patrikrasi, Brett McKenzie, Zuzara Kismati Lechner, and Giza Kurti. Zuzana Sipos was set decoration, and Daniel Orlandi is costume design. Our cast, right? This is a crazy cast, right? We've got Cate Blanchett as Lilith, Kevin Hart as Roland, Edgar Ramírez as Atlas, Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis, Ariana Greenblatt as Tiny Tina, Florian Munteanu as Krieg, Jania Gavanka as Nox, Jack Black voices Claptrap, Benjamin Brian Davis is Marcus, Oliver Richards is Crom, Gina Gershon is Moxie, Ryan Redmond is Ellie, Haley Bennett is Lilith's mum, Rihanna Emma Bala is a younger version of Lilith. When we see her when we see Lilith's mum, essentially. Stephen Boyer is Scooter. Yeah, I mean, I feel that's the main cast, right? Now, the gist of the film is this. Lilith, an infamous bounty hunter with a mysterious past, reluctantly returns to her home, Pandora, the most chaotic planet in the galaxy. Her mission is to find the missing daughter of Atlas, the universe's most powerful S.O.B. Lilith forms an unexpected alliance with a ragtag team of misfits, Roland, a seasoned mercenary on a mission, Tiny Tina, a feral preteen demolitionist. She blows shit up, right? Krieg, Tina's muscle-bound protector, Tannis, the oddball scientist who's seen it all, and Claptrap, a wise-ass robot. Together, these unlikely heroes must battle an alien species and dangerous bandits to uncover one of Pandora's most explosive secrets. The fate of the universe could be in their hands, but they'll be fighting for something more. Each other. Aww. Right? Now, this is, as mentioned, it's based on a computer game. Well, a computer game series, the first of which dropped in 2009. There's been 3 iterations. Borderlands 3 came out in 2019. And then there's been some spin-offs. I think it was Tiny Tina's Wasteland dropped in 2022. I think that's right. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of lore attached. There's been some other game spin-offs as well. So it's a very rich, entrenched game series with a huge fan base. So when this film starts, we have narration, right? We learn it's Lilith doing the narrating. At first, you have no clue. You just recognize Cate Blanchett's voice. You know what I mean? But it gives you a little history of the universe, right? Pandora and all of this stuff, and then lays out this myth about this legendary treasure, which I was like, okay, that's great. That's really good, because I have not played these games. You know, I stopped playing video games, oh, my days, in probably 2001. I don't know. It was just as the PlayStation 3 was coming out, I think. Word of the PlayStation 3. Because I had a PlayStation 2 for a minute. But the graphics, as the graphics got crazy good, you know what I mean? To the point where you're like, is that a movie? Oh no, it's a game? What? Right? The text on screen got smaller. So I just couldn't play games anymore. And they were going, I remember there's a game, Zone of Enders, and it was so fast, I could not see what the fuck was going down. Man, yeah. Anyway, that's a tangent, right? You didn't give a fuck about any of that. Anyway, right? I not played these games. So I was very grateful for this little intro. And we also, we see Lilith in action, this opening sequence in a bar, essentially, a bar. We watch her kick ass. Throughout this film, there seems like there's a lot of nods to Star Wars. Actually, Lilith in the bar isn't the opening. No, the opening is Roland getting Tina. And that's even more of a nod to Star. It's kind of amusing. There's Roland, he opens this door. This fog kind of clears and we just see this big helmet, right? Looks like a stormtrooper even. And then he takes it off and he's like, how can anyone breathe in these things? Something along the lines of that. And yeah, there's a lot of kind of nods to Star Wars. It felt like anyway, Claptrap, kind of a cross between R2D2 and C3PPO. The gold robot. Yeah, there seems to be that. Like Lilith in the bar at the beginning, whole cantina scene with Han, did Han shoot first? Lilith shoots first, right? There's a lot. Maybe I'm just reading a lot into it, but that's what it felt like, right? That's what it felt like. So that's the kind of introduction that you get. And at this point, I'm like, okay, all right, let's see what happens here. This could be interesting. As the film goes on, though, I think that if you're a huge fan of the game, it's going to play a lot differently for you. That's what I think. because there's a lot of things that went down that I had no clue about, right? We have characters appear and it seems that, they're meant to be this big thing, but I don't even know. There's a reference at the end towards cloning, which is not substantiated. It feels like it's out of left field, and no one is like, hold on a second, because it affects something, right? But no one does anything. Now, I'm feeling, is this something from the game? Right? So it's something from the game. They've thrown it out there as a little nod, like, yo, we're paying attention. We're keeping it real, people. We're keeping it real. But as, what I mean, someone that has no knowledge of this franchise, it just seemed weird. It seemed like a weird thing thrown out there with no other context. And there does seem to be a lot of that, right? A big thing with this as well, because we have people shooting at each other, bullets all over the shop. No real fear, right? No real fear of consequence. You at no point are like, "Oh, could one of our main characters die?" And if there's no fear of this, then your kind of concern is gone, right? You're not worrying, you're not gripped, because you're just like, well, no one's going to die. There was a moment in the film where it looks like they were going to throw out there this whole thing about death of a character. But then literally the next scene, they show you that this person isn't, right? Where, I was, having a conversation with my boy, right? Daniel Glenn Barber, I brought him along to the screen. And we were talking afterwards. And when you think about Lord of the Rings, when Gandalf faces the Balrog and then he falls, I mean, reading the book, and watching the film, there is this like, no, wait, what the? No, Gandalf, like, oh, he's a major player. You can't kill. How's Gandalf dead? What the fuck? And so it's not until, you know what I mean, a long way into the second book that Gandalf comes back. And for ages, you think Gandalf's done. There's a reference to him at the start of Two Towers, but you don't know it's Gandalf, right? They're talking about this character in white, and you're like, oh, is this a new cat? Who's this new cat? And then when it's revealed, you're like, oh my days, that's insane. And that's how it should be done, right? In this, because straight away, they've taken away that whole possibility, right? Your belief that this character might be dead, it impacts the film for you, because now when there's supposed danger, you're just like, yeah, whatever. No one's going to get hurt. No one's going to die. You know? And that's a big thing here. It's a big thing here, right? Like, everything feels very convenient, right? The way that suddenly powers appear or someone turns up, knowledge is found, it all feels like that's, yeah, that's convenient, right? Ooh, suddenly this has happened. So that's my kind of big thing. There's some good special effects. But I think also because the film is heavily reliant on special effects, and a lot of this is happening in a kind of a deserty landscape, so it's bright. It then makes a lot of these special effects kind of look a lot like special effects, right? The disbelief, the possibility of it's really flying, or what I mean? You're just a bit like, no, because I can clearly see that's a green screen, right? I think that's a thing. But we do have some really good effects. We really do. But yes, so we have that. Claptrap is the funny relief of the film. I think, though, although there's definitely bits that work, there's bits that make you smile, for sure. There's a lot, though, right? There's a lot of Claptrap, and you do get that sense that a lot of the humor feels very forced. And I think the big thing with Claptrap, now, from checking out some film sets, like you realize about ADR, right? And that's when people go in and record all the audio that might have been lost or that might have been fluffed, right? And you get the sense sometimes that maybe that they're thinking, actually, that scene needs something. So let's get some jokes in here. There's bits that you think that is real forced. That doesn't feel natural. That dialogue does not feel natural. I mean, Tiny Tina, I don't know where she's getting her bombs from. Now, I'm assuming that's a bit of a trait from the games. She's got bombs galore. But yeah, I don't know, man. I do believe that if you're a fan of the games, this is going to hit differently. I do believe that, because there's some decent acting. I think the people that really do shine, right? I think the people that really do shine are Ariana Greenblatt, right? And oh my god, Janina Gavankar, right, as Nox. I think they're the ones that really do their thing. Oh yeah, Bobby Lee is in this as Larry. Yeah, I think they shine. Like Kevin Hart is fine as Roland. There's a moment where you think he's trying to throw some comedy in there, but you do get the sense that Kevin Hart, I mean, and from a lot of other films, right, really wants to be an action film star. And he's really trying for that. So it's like, pare down the comedy. Like, let Claptrap have that comedy. I want to be an action star, right? I want to be an action star. It's kind of the stick from Die Hard. You know what I mean? That's what you get in this film. But yeah, Cate Blanchett's Lilith just feels a little one-dimensional. Same with Edgar Ramírez, and the character isn't really fleshed out. Florian Munteanu, Krieg, doesn't have a lot to play with. Jamie Lee Curtis, one-dimensional. So yeah, I think Knox and Tina are the shining lights of this film. That's what it feels like. Yeah. It does seem that they want this to be a possible franchise. And, as I said, you've got 3 main games, you've got the spin-off series. So there is soil for them to plant new life. But I don't know how possible that's going to be with this one. Because by the end of it, I was scratching my head going, know what the point was. Because this big thing that gets talked about throughout the film, which seems like the big goal, kind of seems like a MacGuffin. Because you're just like, I don't know what the outcome of that thing is. Right? I don't know what that was. I don't know what the point was. Right? There does feel like that. So I don't know. But yeah, game fans, lovers of the Borderlands games, this is for you. This film is most definitely for you. The uninitiated, like myself, I think we can get lost. I mean, I got lost. Maybe I'm just dumb. That could be it. This could do gangbusters in the cinema, and I'm just a dumbass that did not get it. But hey, hope you do enjoy it. I hope you do enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's hitting the cinemas tomorrow, so enjoy Borderlands.